Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other.
Aww.
I'm Ryan Davis.
I'm Zac Right. Kevin is off today. We gave him a weekend off. You know what? He's been working so hard for us. We decided he should get a break, So let's pour one out for Kevin this episode. He is gone, but we have a special guest. And who are you, special guest?
I'm new Kevin.
Oh, no, new Kevin.
Hello, new Kevin.
Kevin is gone. He is no more. No, my name is Davey Peppers. You have seen me on previous episodes. Hi. Hello.
Hello, Davey. Good to have you back, good sir. How have you been?
Always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you, good, kind sir.
Welcome back.
Davey, for our listeners who have maybe forgotten or don't remember, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Davey Peppers. You can find me on Instagram, I guess, at the Davey Peppers, and TikTok at Davey Peppers. I run a YouTube channel where I do video essays on games and their societal impact called Game Mechanics. I also do some work for a pop culture review website called oneofus.net. And that's me. You can find me wherever books are sold.
Heck yeah. I'm so excited to follow you on TikTok. I'm going to do that right now, actually.
So, Davey, what have you been up to in the past couple weeks, months since we last talked to you?
I don't know, tax evasion. No, recently I played Professor Layton in the Curious Village on the Nintendo DS, and that game is a delight. I highly recommend it if nobody has gotten the chance to go to that modern classic. Big fan of that. There is a series on the YouTube channel Jams and Tea, which usually runs the Jams and Tea podcast, which is a music podcast. But we're doing a playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club, and I'm guesting on it and forcing one of the people of the podcast who has never played it or know anything about it to play through it. And if you know the game, you'll know that things go poorly. So that's quite a bit of fun. And the first episode for that is out right now.
Awesome.
I've heard about both these games and I've been curious about them, but I'm also terrified to play them.
I know nothing about these games. You want to give both a quick elevator pitch, Davey?
All right. Professor Layton in the Curious Village is a DS puzzle adventure game created by Level 5 and published in the States by Nintendo in 2008 in North America, where you play as a world-famous detective, Professor Layton, and his assistant, Luke, as they go to a village to solve a mystery of a very wealthy baron who has died and left behind a puzzle trail to his fortune. When they get there, a murder happens, and they have to race to find this treasure and also solve the murder and clear their names at the same time.
Doki Doki
Literature Club. Yeah, it's got the same kind of vibe. It's very Sherlock Holmes inspired, Agatha Christie energy.
I love it.
I'm really into it. And Doki Doki Literature Club is a free visual novel that was released by Dan Salvato in 2017. It gained a lot of internet popularity, where you play as a high school student who joins a literature club and starts to potentially have romantic involvements with any of the four women in the literature club. And then slowly things start to get a little
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You
You're
can just
fine.
bleep that
You're
out.
fine.
We
got a bleep.
Things start to get a little weird and wacky and wobbly, so to speak. And things are not exactly what they seem. The premium version of this game, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, is going to be releasing on Nintendo Switch and PC and PS4 and PS5, I believe, at the end of June or July. It's coming very soon, so that's why we're doing this. But if you want to get in on the ground floor, it is free still right now on Steam.
Awesome. I have to pick that up and give it a whirl.
Yeah.
So, Davey, why are we here today? I think we have a big announcement. What are we previewing today? As the title of the episode is probably going to be called Previewing Something. What's our new series, sir?
We are previewing the Patreon show on Committed Critics, Monthly Checkpoint, where Zac and I will play a game and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. So basically monthly checkpoint is Davey and I have a month to play one game we agreed upon, and there's some rules and stipulation as to how we filter those games out, filter them in. We play it, we review our thoughts on it, and then we essentially give a 40-ish minute analysis / review of the video game of our choosing. Kind of like a book club. The original name was Video Game Book Club. We're like, that makes no sense. That's two different kinds of mediums.
So smart.
So Ryan, the reason you're here is since you have I've kind of kept you in the dark on this idea. I did that for a reason. I have plans. I have things thought through. What if you were a new time listener to Comedic Critics? What questions would you have to the audience? What would you want to know about the show before listening to it?
Well, first off, I want to know kind of how did you guys come up with this idea exactly?
I'll go ahead and take this one. Basically, it was an idea I pitched to Kevin and Davey, and I'm like, what if we had like a monthly series called like I said, Video Game Book Club, where we just one of us plays a game, or we both play one agreed upon game, and do like a video essay on it. The original idea was a video essay, but Davey already does kind of video essays, and so I'm like, well, what if it's kind of like a podcast? And we're like, well, that's kind of what Comedic Critics is. So we hashed out, kind of met in the middle, where we have basically like a conversation about it. It's a conversation about one video game that we have agreed upon to play, and we go back and forth on what we liked about it, what we didn't like, and vice versa. Davey, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, that's pretty much exactly what it is. I kind of describe it as it's like a freeform analysis, I would say, where the audience is able to follow along in every episode outside of the first one. Obviously, at the end of the episode, we announce what the next month's game is going to be,
right,
so that if anyone would like to follow along, they're more than welcome to, or at least just kind of review the material in some way. And
play
we
along
try
with
and
us.
Yeah, and we try and find the meat of what makes this piece of art special or different or unique or good or bad or anything in between, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really exciting and kind of keeps me on my toes as someone who is very used to either the very scripted video essays or just the off-the-cuff reviews to kind of find the thing in the middle, which is a wholly different skill set than I was expecting it to be.
Right. Yeah. I had the same exact reaction. The one thing I want to point out, it's kind of different than like what Davey said. Like, we both find there's art and story inside video games, right? And that's why I wanted Davey to be my co-pilot on this, is because he sees like the art and he has those indie game, those niche ideas. And I am very much a mainstream AAA fanboy. So I think we have a nice stark contrast to what we enjoy, and we each can bring something different to the table and expose each other to different kinds of games, et cetera, et cetera. It's not, so like I said, it's... Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, like, I guess that kind of leads to, like, so you guys both choosing the games, alternating, or are other people choosing them? Kind of like, how's that going to work?
Yeah, so Davey, go ahead. And we can talk about the game we played in the first episode, too, if you want to go about that.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't totally sure. The plan right now is to alternate. The pitch came with Zac saying, hey, we should do Breath of the Wild. To which I said, that's good, because I've never played Breath of the Wild.
And my jaw hit the floor, because I figured Davey would have played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I would have too.
I also would have figured that I had. It was a huge blind spot for me, and I was really, really glad that I had an excuse to sit down and play it. But yeah, we're alternating. At least my thought process going into this and kind of choosing things is I want to force myself to play things that, quite frankly, I really should have played by now, and that I want to talk about and experience and discuss.
Right.
Like Breath of the Wild, which was a perfect pick, because I really should have gotten to that. The next game we're going to do, when we premiere the first episode, we're going to show it at the end, or say it at the end, so it's not really a spoiler. But next month's game is going to be the PC cult classic Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is another game that I've owned for a while, and I should just sit down and do it. And so that's something that I'm really excited about, is kind of finding these little pockets of video game history, and especially on like the more offbeat side of this beautiful medium, and say, all right, there's no excuse for me not to have played blank, or, oh, there's no
Right.
excuse for Zach not to have played blank. And we can kind of fill in those gaps and hopefully find some really interesting and fun treasures. I think as the show goes along, we'll probably get into more obscure and strange games to try and I just love chasing the high of finding something and going, oh, people don't know how good this is, and I want to tell them. I want to scream them out like off the rooftops. That's my favorite thing in the world to do.
Davey has also promised me that he's going to give me some really weird shit to play, and he's trying to break me, I think.
Hey, as long as you guys make sure you do a review over Tap the Mayo 2.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm not going to break Zach. I am going to forge him. There is a difference.
The same.
Yeah,
what's the old Russian proverb where it's like the same hammer that breaks glass forges steel? I'm that. That's me.
Yeah. And I am the hammer. I am
God.
Captain Hammer. The
Ryan,
hammer is my penis.
Oh my God.
If you guys haven't seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, that joke is way creepier. If you have seen it,
Dr. Horrible sing.
all right, then it's not a
God.
creepy joke.
Oh my gosh, I have not. So we're one for one on that one. No, Ryan, we probably will not be covering Tap the Mayo 2, even though that game is an easy platinum for anyone involved.
Easiest platinum I've ever witnessed in my life.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to some of the factors that we take into account when we pick our video games, and what we hope to accomplish with the series. So we'll be right back.
Starting a podcast? Try a Podbean Unlimited hosting plan. It's what we use here at Committed Critics, giving us the opportunity to have our show on Pandora, iHeartRadio, and even Spotify. You can get your first month of unlimited hosting for free on us by going to podbean.com/committedcrits, just like our Twitter, or by clicking the link in the description. Podbean, the easiest, most affordable option to get started in podcasting.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crpwrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
Hey, welcome back. We are talking to both Zac and Davey about their new series, Monthly Checkpoint.
Woo!
So, guys, you guys told us a little bit about how you guys came up with this idea and what you guys want to do, but like kind of what is your goal with this series? What do you guys want to get across?
Davey, why don't you take this one first?
Weird shit. I want to play it, and I want to tell people about it. That's it.
That's fair. That's fair. My answer is more like I said in the first part of the episode, I'm more of a mainstream AAA kind of guy. So like I'll play Mass Effect when I get to it, stuff like that. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition just came out. God of War, Spider-Man. I love all those mainstream games, stuff like that. But when I started playing Celeste back when we did that episode about indie games with Davey, I was playing Celeste at the time, and I think I need to finish the last level of Celeste, but I really, really enjoyed it, even though it was a platformer, and I'm not a big platformer guy. The story that
and also it's hard as balls.
Right, yeah. It's very challenging, and the story that is nicely wound into Celeste is very, very good, and I really want to experience more games of that caliber in that certain way. So one of my main goals is to experience a vast array of different games. I hope to gain a more eclectic understanding of games far and wide, and really have a new found respect to indies, other lesser known games that kind of fall into the wayside. And I know Davey can hold me accountable on that.
Yeah, and I think it's really awesome that Zach and I have not necessarily opposite tastes, but the things that we gravitate to generally aren't necessarily the same, where I will very much gravitate towards the platformers, the like 3D collectathons, and like story based, like almost walking simulators, where
Right.
the kind of things that Zach is much more familiar with are the higher octane, like shooting and action based games.
Yeah. Action based adventure games. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff that I'm also a fan of, but I will not often go out of my way and be like, yes, this is the thing that I'm going to do. And I want to be proven wrong at every point. I want to be able to, in a year, look back at myself now who's like, yeah, I'm just not super excited when like Sony publishes a game anymore, because like they're all kind of the same. I want to, in a year, with the knowledge that I've gained from this show, go, that guy didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He was a moron.
Right. And another thing, something to get across to our audience is how far and wide their video game scope is. Like, it's not just like there's baseball, like there's sports simulator games, there's third person action adventure games, there's first person shooters. Not every.
You mean it's not just Call of Duty and Halo?
Yeah, exactly right. No, that's the point.
There's
I'm trying to make
also
here.
Battlefield.
Oh God.
That's it. That's all gaming.
The term gamer really can be whatever a person like stereotypically thinks of a gamer. Like they're not all first person shooters like fans. Some people like puzzle games, platformers, Nintendo fans, stuff like that. Like I really want that definition of gamer to be changed and redefined as we keep playing through Monthly Checkpoint to try and make it a different sphere, you know?
Yeah.
Are you calling Fortnite players gamers?
Yeah, because Fortnite, for all that it did...
We can be pro Fortnite gamers. Pro Fortnite gamers. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today.
I'm down. It's free. It's free to play. Like for example, like Fortnite gamers, sure, yeah, we give them like crap and stuff like that. But Fortnite really kind of redefined, like they have Batman skins fighting Iron Man skins. Like if you told like someone back in like 2000 that, they would have lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, for how mainstream it is and how kind of corny and kiddish Fortnite seems, like there is some respect to be had with Fortnite, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Fair.
And like, especially in comparison to like some of the other battle royales, like
Right.
like PUBG, I would much rather play a game of Fortnite than a game of PUBG, or the culling. Like there are a lot of bad imitators. Warzone's pretty solid, pretty great, but there is value in a lot of these, and Apex, yes. There's a ton of value in these games that will often get written off for one reason or another. Written off either because they don't have the marketing budget or they don't have the wide market appeal, or written off by snobs being like, well, it's not worth anything because it's just this thing.
Right.
And that sometimes is true, and there's value in being right about that. And there's also value in being completely shot on your ass and told, no, there is stuff that is worth discussing here. Some of the best video game essays I've ever seen have been on Fortnite. Like,
yeah,
shit's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, building off that, any other questions you got for us, Ryan? Pardon my stutter right there. I'm sorry.
Well, then, can you guys give us a little bit of an idea of what you guys will be playing in the future? I know you said a few things, but like you said what your next one is. But like, is there any ideas you guys have in the future besides
Well, we
that?
don't really have it scheduled out. Like we don't have like episode 3 scheduled out. It's more of kind of what each, since we're alternating. I picked Breath of the Wild. Davey picked Vampire. Crap, I forgot the rest of it. I know it's Bloodlines.
The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Masquerade Bloodlines. So we'll take turns. But we do have some ideas listed out. I've never played the Half-Life games, so I do want to cover that at some point. I would like to maybe go back, maybe replay Celeste before I finish it, and we could talk about that. I've never really played Metal Gear Solid, Mass Effect, like a lot of big name games like that I have not touched. So it'd be cool to go back and actually like talk about these games and have a nice analysis review of them when I've never played them and never touched them. So, I mean, Davey, what do you think?
I want to make us play Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh no!
Like
that's a throwback.
Like there's like the problem is there like two brains fighting it out on one hand, it's, oh, this is super exciting or interesting or new, or, oh, I love this game and Zach hasn't played it and we could definitely talk about it. And then there's the part of me that just really wants to troll. And that part of my brain put Mighty Number 9 on my list of possible games to play.
Mighty Number 9. Oh my goodness.
Because it's so funny. It's so funny. I have such a love of playing just dumpster fire bad games.
I'm looking at your list, Davey, and you go from Mighty Number 9 all the way down is Dark Souls. Like you said, there is two sides to your brain right now.
Yeah, it's really just a cluster of, oh, this game is a masterpiece and I want to play it and I want to discuss it, or, oh, give me the yummy garbage.
Ryan, are there any games you want to see us play?
Here's an example. Here's an example real quick.
Go ahead,
on my PSP right now, I have both Persona 3 and Bubsy 3D.
Jesus.
That's Davey. but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine. You're fine, Davey. Ryan, I was saying, what games would you want us to like play, or what would you want us to see us cover?
Oh, honestly, I mean, obviously, I want you to play Kingdom Hearts because I want to see.
I gotta play through it again.
And I don't know if Davey's ever played it, but Davey, it might be torture for you too. I don't know how you feel about it.
I like Kingdom Hearts.
5.
Okay.
Good.
I would do it. I would do it for the show.
I would rather play
that and Persona 5 or that and Persona 5 are what I would like to see, but also maybe like, you know, some more indie games, because again, I haven't seen a lot of indie games, and seeing it from Zach and me have very similar game tastes, so seeing how he would react to those maybe might influence me to play them. But also I have to ask, are you guys going to take recommendations from audience members at all, or do like a one day do like, hey, here's a poll or something or anything like that? Or
I think that'd be fun. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I think taking that into account would be really cool. Like if our audience grows, or if like Andy or like Ryan want to see us play different games, like anyone in our audience has a suggestion, I think we'd greatly take in a suggestion. Davey, what do you think?
I would be super down with that. More perspectives is always good. More people doing crazy stuff is fun. I know Andy's got a lot of love for the GameCube era, and would probably have some stuff that I did not have on my radar, and I think that would be super fun. So it's just if people wanna bug us to play stuff, I mean, we'll play stuff. We are the dancing monkeys. Just give us attention.
Play I Am Bread.
I Am Mayo 1. We'll go back and play the first one, Ryan.
Yeah, you don't want to get confused
cents.
on the story and the lore.
No, I think that, like Davey said, more perspectives. So, I mean, it's never a bad thing. Video games are so cool because it brings people together, right? And that's really what one of the overarching goal for this is, to bring people together, see like, hey, this game is not for me, but it is for Davey. Or this game, ultimately, like Davey played a second time, like, actually, I didn't enjoy it as much the second time. And I'm like, wow, I really enjoy it. Like, I hope people take that into consideration when they're playing it, and it can spawn a conversation. It can spawn debate and discussion about certain games and bring people together in a very unified and united way. Unless we're playing Mario Party, and then we'll just kill each other, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be the finale.
The series finale is Mario Party.
The finale of life for one of us.
Kill each other.
The finale of life. See, series finale of life.
It's like one will win, one will lose, the loser will die.
But yeah, so Ryan, do you have any other follow-up questions you want to ask us while we're right here?
I just want to see you guys have fun, honestly. Like, this is actually very much interests me, and I really want to see how it goes.
You probably will be able to guest star if you wanted to do it with us 1 month. Once your schedule evens out.
Yeah, it's great having a morning schedule.
But I do want to make a small announcement real quick. So yes, the show is Patreon exclusive to our Patreon. So if you subscribe at the $2 tier, you get access to the show. However, the first episode of Monthly Checkpoint will come out early for subscribers, or try to come out early. And at some point during the month of July, we will release the monthly checkpoint episode 1 for the rest of our audience so they can see what it's about and try and get them to enjoy the rest of the series and be excited for the rest of the series coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, Davey, where can people find you one more time?
You can find me on Twitter at Davey Peppers, on TikTok at Davey Peppers. You can find me on the YouTube channel Game Mechanics. You can find me on the website oneofus.net. And you can find the Doki Doki Literature Club playthrough that I am a part of on the YouTube channel Jams and Tea.
Awesome. And then Ryan, do you want to take us out of here, man?
Sure. Well, this has been Committed Critics. You can follow us on both YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Podbean.
I think Apple Podcast probably, and our Patreon also.
Yes, and thank you to all our Patreon members, including Davey, Ryan Kowalski, and
Thanks,
Sophie Wright. Thanks again to our sound engineer, Jordan Smearman, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.